Good morning and welcome to the world of drones. My name is Sharad and I welcome you all to our launch event today. We have with us three speakers who are doyens of their respective industries, some truly enthusiastic people as audience, and the entire team of Urban Matrix Technologies who have joined together to witness the dawn of a cloud-connected drone ecosystem. Our speakers for today are Mr. Govind Shoriwala, CEO of Winmir Resources, who is also a metals and mining entrepreneur. Dr. Satyanarayan Seshadri, Assistant Professor of Applied Mechanics and a startup mentor from IIT Madras. And also Padma Shri Talapil Pradeep, Professor of Chemistry at IIT Madras. This event is a short 45 minutes one, where we begin with industry insights and expertise from our speakers, followed by the unveiling of our two flagship products, and finally, closing up with a session of sharing, questions, and answers where we would like to know our audience thoughts and answer any questions they may have. I encourage you all to write down and share your comments, thoughts, and questions in the chat box, which we will take up an answer to in the Q&A session at the end. Over the past few years, we have connected with people from various domains. They have communicated their requirements, understood this technology, and reaffirmed our faith in this technology and the fact that this is here to stay. But if I try to summarize and compile our experience of these interactions in a single line, the inference goes like this. It is almost impossible to find a truly reliable made in India drone product. This summarized line, or to be precise, a particular word in that line is what fuels us here at Urban Matrix. The principles of quality, reliability, and ease of use is the core DNA inside each of our products. The three brilliant minds of IIT Madras, backed by a force of some of the most talented, passionate, and hardworking creators, have worked day and night, and I literally mean day and night, to make this a reality. And today, on the 12th of March, 2022, you become a part of our journey. The story that we at Urban Matrix Technologies have so carefully curated. I say carefully because we were careful not to rush. We were careful not to be greedy, not to lose faith. We were careful enough to learn from our initial mistakes and build a product that is truly reliable. A careful approach to build a product that our customers will one day in the future associate with us and say they've done a good job. I personally feel that future is finally here today. Let me show you.
So drones in 2016, around 6 years ago, was fairly a new concept. When we started, it was completely like a college project, just a small team, and we were struggling with a lot of aspects of the technology.
Then we started working towards the product. We got an idea of the market, and from then on, we got the funding and we started getting more people.
So yeah, Urban Matrix, we are a hardware, a software, and electronic startup. So every day you come to the office and you have a set of problems that you need to figure out. And by the end of the day, hopefully you have figured out some solution to that.
So UAV trend right now in India is in a very, very aggressive position. Government is supporting, industries are supporting, investments are coming in, innovations are happening. But research and development part in drones in India, we are still lagging behind.
And because of that, there's a huge potential, extremely huge potential for Indian players who are starting right now to build something really creative and different.
Biggest hurdle is adopting the technology. Since it's new, there is no infrastructure, or the big industries who actually need this product are not used to this kind of solutions.
We are making drones which are solving two problems. First is reliability and second is ease of use. And Urban Metrics wanted to create a product which you can just buy off the shelf, which is highly reliable and very easy to use.
What we are providing is an end-to-end solution that includes the drone itself, and along with it we have the launch pad, our own custom GCS. And then the third part, which is the most unique point for Urban Matrix, is the console. That is possible because we have all these technologies like 4G integrated in the drone.
So right now, to operate a drone, you need tens of software, tens of different components. What I want to bring in is the kind of a user experience, a simplicity in user experience that no one is able to provide. I want to make drones smarter in India and even in the world.
In this next decade, drones can leverage 4G and 5G technologies to open up new possibilities, and it's huge. We at Urban Metrics recognize this opportunity, and we are India's one of the first companies to build 4G capable drones.
I would say we are lucky. We have found a really good set of people. It's really exciting to work with them.
I'd say we are a small team of focused and really talented individuals. At the very core level, we have that kind of talent.
We are by core, by heart engineers, and we love building technologies. You'll find us celebrating whenever we are testing that innovative technology and it is successful. That is the biggest part of motivation for us as a team. So mission of Urban Metrics is straight and simple. We want to become a global brand in drone industry.
We have with us Mr. Govind Shorewala, and who I would like you to speak a little words to our audience today.
Can you hear me, Sarath? Can you hear me?
Good morning to you.
I'm audible, right?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Please, sir.
So thanks, Sarath. Thanks, Urban Matrix team, for this invitation. So I'd like to keep it short and share my view on how I see this playing out for the mining industry in specific. So I spend about 15 days a month in Odisha, which is the hub of iron ore. I've spent time walking through the mines, 200 hectares, lots of forest areas, and I mean, this kind of technology will have multi-faceted effects in the mining space. So I'd like to break it down into three specific things. One being the legal regulations. So as we've seen, now for larger mines, doing the surveys, doing the reviews have become a statutory obligation. So there's a certain size of mines where you have to do it biannually or you have to do it annually, and that is one small way demand is created. Secondly, India and mining have always been start and stop since the last couple of years or last half a decade. But given the government's focus, the auction regime that came up, given how one state will start picking up soon, I mean, the kind of mining growth in the country is going to be explosive. I see that being 4 to 5x in the next 3-4 years. And with scale mining, drones have to come into effect. I mean, there's no question about the role drones will play. So one is legal demand, statutory demand will come in. One is the sector itself will explode. The third is the most key part, that how it can play a role in multiple things. So one is basic security. For example, iron ore mines in Odisha, the larger ones are 200 hectares, 300 hectares. You can't have everyone covering the mine all the time, right? You're focused on one segment, you're focused on one area, making benches in one place. There are sometimes animal strains, sometimes there are things that are happening elsewhere, there's monsoon. So I think just from a security point of view, the way a couple of drones can cover, I don't think a team of 20 people can cover. Secondly, where we are seeing technology come in again is the survey. So 3D surveys are one part, 4D surveys are one part. But if the perfect flying device is built, I mean, you can mount anything on it and you can use it to survey it, right? Today, when I've gone for surveys, we go in campus, take magnetic devices, do it at 50-meter radius, right? Today with drones, it can completely change the time, the amount of people needed, and the quality. So security, surveys, and it will keep evolving. These are the two most obvious use cases, but I see it evolving even more. And to close, so mining is exploding, there's enough demand. Made in India was a big concern because there's security issues, there's service issues. Is the console good? Where will we get the warranty? Who will run it for us? So I think Urban Matrix's Make in India approach, where they're making it in India, they've built a beautiful console, and the fact that you can have a service station right in India, and obviously privacy and safety risks are also better. So I think given this, it's at an inflection point where mining is going to grow, it's going to become more efficient, and drones are an integral part of it. So there are a lot of companies that have come up, but I think Urban Matrix's focus on the mining space and Make in India should yield them good results, and happy to be a part of the journey and look forward to seeing how Urban Matrix integrates into the mining sector.
Thank you for that wonderful speech, Mr. Govind. I hope we were all taking notes of that. Quite insightful there. Thank you. Speaking about our teachers and professors are the builders of our nation. I think we'll all agree to that. Equipping us with the knowledge to envision and build and create the future that we all want for ourselves. It's their perseverance that enables students like Rishabh, Ashutosh, Divyanshu, and many more to build companies like Urban Matrix and the products that we have. We are lucky to have two such professors with us today. I would like to start with Padma Shri Thakkar Pradeep to say a few words to everyone.
Very good morning to all of you.
Morning, sir.
What more joy one can have than seeing your own children flying high. When you see a product of this kind, when you see an opportunity of this kind, what it opens up. As a professor, as an academician, as someone who has lived all these years, seeing young children grow, there is no more joy. But then the important aspect is that growth is unlimited, as education is. And therefore, every institution, whether it is Urban Matrix or IIT Madras or Indian Institute of Science, there is no limit to their growth. And for unlimited growth, let me first of all wish you all the very best. The second point is that every machine that is flying or walking, there is science behind it. And this is true in this case also. The science is unlimited. The potential of science is unlimited. And that was the speaker before me spoke about. But here is another thing that you see, the science that you see unlimited. And this is NASA looking at groundwater from the sky and using this particular device looks at gravity. And when you start looking at gravity changes, you see what happens to groundwater. And this can be seen at a very local level today with resolutions of something like meter square. What prevents technology like this with an eye from above, seeing things beyond? scientifically, physics-wise, I don't see limitation. Therefore, it obviously means that there's a lot more to innovate, not only seeing what our eyes can see, what physics can see. And therefore, that innovation is going to change urban matrix to something else, looking at larger context of sustainability.
I agree.
Because water is connected with everything. Water is connected with economics and energy and any other forms of security. So it is to, in another context, as world is becoming more and more decentralized, everyone wants to know your own neighborhood from diverse perspectives. Every
Dr. Tarpal sir, we're not able to hear you.
Okay, you missed me a lot or what?
No, just the last, I think just 2 seconds.
So what I was saying was that as you keep looking at tomorrow, everyone wants to know about their neighborhood. Villages want to know, Panchayat wants to know, everything is becoming Panchayati Raj. It's not only looking at opportunities of today, assets of today, but also assets of children tomorrow. And that means I see significant amount of modeling. These resources, what can they tell you about the world tomorrow? This has to be integrated too. If I know water about today for the past few years, I do know how the society will transform. Because there are models existing today as to how water is connected with agriculture or how water is connected with everything else on development. Therefore, your eye is seeing the future. I wish you that great eye. That eye includes physics, that eye includes chemistry, that eye includes engineering, that eye includes modeling. Will contribute not only to India, but to the rest of the world, especially for tomorrow. You are only seeing through today's eyes tomorrow. All the very best to you.
Thank you so much, Professor. It felt like going back to college all over again. Thank you so much. Next, I call Dr. Satyanarayan Seshadri, who has been a wonderful mentor for our company from its early days. Welcome, sir.
Can you guys see me?
Very good morning, sir. Yes,
Hi,
we can
hi,
see you and we can hear you.
Thank you very much, Abhishek. And I really think, as Professor Pradeep said, it really does give me great pleasure and also happiness to see Rishabh and Urban Matrix at this stage. So I clearly remember when Rishabh walked into my office and said, I want to show you a drone, which is collapsible, it falls down and you can make it fly again. I said, okay, let me have a look at it. And I think that's where I've been following Rishabh since I think he was a second year student. They have come really great distances. One of the lessons I give to my future Nirman teams, which Rishabh was part of on the C5 teams, is that it's good to build technology, it's good to experiment, but also see it all the way through. And I think he has done it. So there has been starting points where he wanted to build a drone, collapsible drone, and he wanted to give it to somebody. He wants to become a drone maker. And then he kind of pivoted himself and figured out an opportunity which is truly worthwhile solving. And when he last presented his vision for Urban Matrix, and I really thought he has got it and it's really going to scale. And I think he has grabbed onto the opportunity. And a lot of people talk about vision, dreams, and execution, and mostly focus on the dreams and vision. What I had seen in Urban Matrix is that he's really put together a good team to execute. And I think what we are seeing here is a lot of behind the scenes work. And as Professor Pradeep also mentioned, and the previous speaker, the opportunity is only going to grow. We have had some early successes from him. He has done a survey for me. He's been always the person who says, I will go try it out. I've called him for meetings to talk to mango tree growers, people who wanted to survey a lake, and we also wanted to survey our campus. He's had this attitude of, let me try it, let me experiment it. It's okay. I may not monetize things immediately, but eventually things will fall in place. And I think that's the spirit that has got him here. And I think that's the spirit that will really, really help him and the rest of the Urban Matrix team grow very far. And I'm pleased to know that the product is getting launched today, and it is at a time where the drone policies have become very open, and it's at a time where it's the early part of the market. Because I remember one of the conversations I had with him saying he's wanting to get into a space where there are no regulations, and we don't even know whether flying drones would be possible, being allowed, and what is he trying to do, pledging his placements and everything else in the line. I mean, he had a future, and he had a teammate who doubted and who even left him. But I think I'm happy and glad he stuck to it. And I think kudos to his perseverance. And I hope that spirit of perseverance carries forward with all your team members. I really wish to see this becoming a unicorn and a really large company very soon. So all the best, Rishabh and the Urban Matrix team. Thank you very much for calling for this presentation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for that belief in us. We're going to carry this forward. And I thank all the speakers for spending some of their valuable time with us today and sharing their experience about this whole new industry. Our government has huge plans for our nation to propel us forward. But with that, there is also a great set of responsibilities on the shoulders of our security and defense units to safeguard our nation's borders and protect its citizens. Urban Matrix is committed to building reliable and efficient products using the latest cutting-edge technology for our security forces. And to that, we dedicate our first product for today, which is a new phase of surveillance. To speak about it, I call Rishabh Verma, the co-founder and CEO of Urban Matrix Technologies, to share the screen with me. Welcome, Rishabh.
Thank you so much, sir. First of all, thank you everybody who is here with us. And I welcome all of you today here at the launch event of Urban Matrix Technologies. I'm really thankful to all our speakers today, Mr. Govind, Professor Pradeep, and Professor Satya. Their mentorship and their support has been phenomenal in our journey. So I would like to share a small presentation with you. And with that, we will see the innovations and the R&D which we are doing here at Urban Matrix for the last 6 years. Great, thank you. So, starting with a little bit of introduction about Urban Matrix. The company was started in 2009, and we started with a very small team of 3 people, and now we are a team of around 20 people here at Bengal. We focuses on 4 areas: land survey, drone delivery, inspection, and security and surveillance using AI methods. Our guiding principles are very simple and very relevant to today's world. The first one is reliability. Any technology is as good as its reliability. So we focus a lot on these machines which are flying above your heads to make sure that they're reliable. Second is innovation. So we are coming from a very technical background as a team, and innovation has been part of our DNA. Third is ease of use. Any successful technology which is implemented in masses is easy to use. If it's a complicated one, it is very difficult to scale it up. So we focuses a lot to make our drones, to make our whole system, our ecosystems of drones very simple to use and integrate within the systems in industries or within the consumers. So let me talk a little bit about the key innovations which we have been working on for the last 3 years now. The first one being the Matrix operating system. So all of our drones are capable and installed with our own computer system, which runs on Matrix operating system. It gives us a lot of command about the technology, about the integration of various sensors to the machine and communication protocols. What it means is it makes your drone very reliable. We have done a lot of testing, and with each test, our drones are becoming more and more reliable. Second key innovation which we are working on is the ground control station. To do any kind of planning or mission automation in drone segment, you need a ground control station where you plan all your missions. And currently, the industry standards and the current solutions for the GCS are not very friendly. So we have built our own proprietary GCS system, which makes it very easy for you to plan autonomous missions, and you don't need any kind of training. So it becomes very easy for you to integrate these machines into your workflows. The third key innovation, sorry. So the third key innovation is about the battery technology. Now these machines which are flying in air are as good as their battery capacity, right? So to increase the flight time and to make sure that we can capture more and more applications and tap into more and more value addition to these industries, we want to make sure that the flight time is maximized. In order to do so, we are doing a lot of research on the battery technology, and we use lithium-ion based battery packs, and we have associated with IIT Madras in order to build these kind of battery packs, which are which provides double the life cycle compared to the traditional battery packs. So your cost for each battery pack is reduced every time you fly the drone. The fourth innovation I would like to talk about is the console. So whatever data you are getting from the drone has to be processed, has to be presented in a manner where it can be utilized by the end user. So we realized that this is a major problem with the drone industry, that whatever data we are getting is as good as the processing which is done after that. So we have introduced UMT Console, which is a web-based cloud platform. You can open it on any computer with internet connectivity. And once you are logged into our platform, you can manage all your drones, you can manage all your pilots, you can see the live video feed from the drone. You can also check the health reports from these drones. And everything is automated. So we are making it really, really easy for the end user to adopt this technology. The fifth one is 4G. Now 4G in drones is very, very innovative in the sense that it can open up a lot of possibilities for various industries. For example, you are sitting in Bangalore and you want to see live drone video footages from, for example, Delhi. Now with 4G, it is possible to see the live video footage from the drone which is flying in Delhi and when you are sitting in Bangalore. Now think about deliveries. You can get the live data from the drone from another location to any location around the globe as long as you have the 4G connectivity. Now with these 4G and 5G connectivity becoming more and more common and the area becoming more and more wide, we are seeing that long-range communication between drone systems and the management systems are becoming more and more challenging. So 4G technology brings in an additional option where you can communicate with the drone, control the drone, even control the camera throughout a large distance using 4G technology. We have developed this technology and we have been experimenting with this for the last 2 years. And we are happy to announce that the current product, UMT Hawk 4G, is enabled with this technology. So it's live and you can utilize this feature. Let me introduce UMT Hawk 4G, which is our first flagship product. So this is basically a surveillance and inspection drone. Couple of features which I would like to highlight here are it's completely robust, fully made from carbon fiber material, based out of lithium-ion battery. So your cost of flying becomes half or lesser. Each time you fly the drone, the battery cost becomes half. It runs on our own Matrix operating system, so integration with 4G networks, communication, sensors is very simple, very reliable, and very intuitive as well. We have made our drones in such a way that they're portable, you can carry them around very easily. So all the landing gears are detachable, you can just pull them off, and you don't need any screw, you don't need any additional time to manage, to assemble the drone. It's all intuitive, it's all very fast, you can assemble the whole drone within 10 seconds. Of course, it is also enabled with the 4G connectivity on the drone itself. So wherever the drone goes and there is a 4G connectivity available, it can transmit that data back to the server of Urban Metrics. The data can include the vitals of the drone, the position of the drone, or the camera feed from the drone, or any other sensor feed from the drone. It opens up a lot of possibilities where you need live data from the drone in order to make decisions. We have around 10 kilometers of line of sight range, which is one of the best range which you can find in this category. Also, the payload can be swappable. So you can add multiple kind of payloads, for example, a thermal payload, for example, a normal RPG camera, a loudspeaker, maybe a delivery package, and so on. And the best part about this drone is it gives 50 minutes plus flight time. And this is real-time data. It's not testing data. So in real conditions, you'll get around 50 minutes of flight time. And thanks to lithium-ion battery pack, we are able to achieve this flight time. So when you talk about key applications for UMT Hawk 4G, first is surveillance. So with the help of UMT console, we can do surveillance with live AI features. As you can see in the photo, we can detect objects, humans, cars, animals, and maybe complex objects in future as well. This has enormous opportunities in security and, for example, railway inspection, road inspection, pipeline inspections, and so on. And the whole process is becoming autonomous and automated with the technologies which we are building. Second is inspection. Similarly, power line inspections, inspections in renewable sectors, windmill inspections, solar inspections, and so on. And these all inspections are done using AI layers. So it is connected to our UMT console, where you can directly see the end result of your inspection. You'll directly get the reports that these are the things which has to be replaced. These are the problems with the current asset, and so on. So we are not only giving end-to-end services, but once you buy the whole package, you will get the end results. You don't have to worry about training. You don't have to worry about processing this data, and everything is in the same package. And the third is also very, very important to Urban Metrics is defense. So the technology which we are building is really unique, and we believe strongly that this can be leveraged by our defense forces. Now I would like to introduce you our second flagship product, which is targeted towards land survey industry or GIS industry. It's Sparrow RTK. So it's a drone specifically designed for land surveys. It comes with a very high precision RTK system, and we have made sure that problems like portability, flight time, reliability are addressed for this product. So for example, lithium-ion battery packs on this product, on this drone gives you 60 plus minutes of flight time. Again, fully carbon fiber based body, so it's very rugged. You can carry it around anywhere. It can take hard landings. It can take, impacts, and it can, survive for almost 10 years in terms of the carbon fiber body. Then again, the weight of this drone is very, very, very less compared to a lot of other drones with the same capabilities. So we have made sure that the weight is less than 2 kgs. The RTK is very high precision, so you don't need to put GCPs on the ground as much. Again, 60 minutes of flight time, and the sensors which we are using on these drones are world class, more than 20 MP in terms of a megapixel, and 1-inch sensors in terms of sensor size. The key outputs which we get from UMT Sparrow RTK are orthomosaic maps, contour maps, DTN, DSM, LULC, and volumetric analysis, and so on. So for example, I would like to share a small comparison with DJI Phantom. With DJI Phantom, you can cover 110 acres at 120 meters height with 3.3 inch VST. Now with UMT Sparrow RTK, you can cover 250 acres at 1.7 GST with a single flight. So that's the difference which we are creating. The key applications are, of course, land surveys, mining and exploration, as Mr. Govind was mentioning, and construction management. So let us understand a little bit about the tests which we are doing. So at Urbanmetrics, we focuses a lot on quality assurance, quality control, and that's why we do testing for each and every component. But as a whole, we have tested in simulation almost 1,152 flight hours, and 3,755 flights. Similarly, on real ground in the last 2 years, we have completed 131 flight hours and 427 flights of these machines. And we are very confident and happy today to announce the launch of these two products, because they are reliable, they are easy to use, and we have tested them vigorously. So they are ready to deployed in the industry and to be used and to create value for you. So today we are launching these two products, and with this we want to offer a small early bird offer to all our early clients. So this offer includes around 40,000 rupees of benefits, additional benefits with both the drones, and please contact us to know more about this. With this, I would like to go forward towards a small demonstration of live video feed for UMT Hawk 4G. Thank you.
Wow, all that sounded and looked really good. Thank you, Rishabh, for explaining to everybody about the new launch products today. That brings us to the final part of the show, the questions and answer session. We have a good number of audience with us today who have shared their inspiring thoughts and some really good questions for us. Our team from Urban Matrix Technologies will answer them for you. Our team for this session has Ashutosh Kumar, the Chief Technical Officer, Divyanshu Kunde, our Vice President, Ajay Karthik, our Software Architect, and of course, Rishabh Verma, the Chief Executive Officer. Let's take this first question. Apart from cloud-based solution, do you provide offline solutions too?
I think I can answer that question. Yeah. So to answer the question, we do provide an offline solution, but I would also like to add that providing that is like going backwards in technology. Urban Matrix is driven by the market trends, and the market is the future of the market is cloud connected. So, and that is where we are heading. That's why the offline solution is provided, but it's not the recommended.
I agree to that. How will your drone operate if there is no 4G network in remote areas? That's one question for you.
Yeah, I can answer that question. So, India has been the fastest 4G network expansion. It has the highest number of 4G users as well. So, with that, we will have connectivity in remote areas and rural areas, if not today, in future. And answering to the question, if there is no 4G connectivity, so this drone will still operate normally, and there will be a second downlink, which is a radio link, and after the operation, you can access data remotely when it's connected to the cloud again.
That's right. Another interesting one here. Do you provide API integration for the data on console for third-party services also?
Yes, we are thinking of providing in future. We know that third-party services can create a lot of value for customers. So in future, we will be opening certain APIs to vetted and selected third parties for integrating with our ecosystem and building amazing solutions for our customers.
Right. I hope that answered the question. What is the USP of our products? I believe we did answer that during our presentation, but I think one of us can answer.
Yeah, from the beginning itself, we have focused on developing a core set of technology, and that technology has helped us develop solutions like our ground control station, the smart battery pack, and even the 4G drone itself. To give an example, we are today ready to tackle complex problems like delivery, okay, where your drone is 50, 100, or even 200 kilometers away from your ground control station. And I feel this is currently the only alternative, or only reliable alternative to your normal way of operation in this case.
And to add on to this, what we recently saw in the video just now was a good demonstration of our capabilities. You can sit in your offices and you can see the live video footage, which we saw in the last video.
Adding to that, Rishabh, we have a question. Can the drones be utilized for night security services?
Can the drones be utilized for night surveillance? Definitely yes, and they're a very good tool to do so. Because once you have a drone in the sky, it can cover a large area, and it can monitor a large area at the same time. Plus, you can utilize sensors like IR sensor or thermal sensor to detect night vision and in an area where there is complete darkness, right? In an area where there is a fog, there is a forest, there is bushes, and there is complete darkness. In that area also you can use thermal vision sensors on the drone to detect intrusion, to detect animals, to detect hot bodies. And the detection is also assisted with RPI technology. So it is automated as well.
That's right. If a drone is connected to cloud, how will you ensure data security?
Well, in a cloud connected environment, there is a lot of issues with security, but we have kept these things in mind while developing this ecosystem. One of the things we did, the first thing was we made sure that the data channels are encrypted. So any data sent from the drone to the server is secure. Nobody can extract information from that channel. And this next thing is this data stored on the cloud. So for that, we had made sure that the data stored on the cloud is access controlled. So only the client can access his or her data. And even if we want, we cannot access that data.
I would like to add to this point. We are also working on integrating quantum security in our entire data. So we are trying to provide kind of military grade encryption, end-to-end encryption in all our channels. And we are providing that to a normal user. So you can be 100% sure that your data is secure and only with you.
All right. Before we go for some more questions, I also, even though we are short of time here, I still encourage, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat box. Going forward, we have a question for you. It's during just imagine during a surveillance operation, the camera in the drone detects an intruder, right? Does the camera have a capability to zoom in, zoom out? And what exactly does the drone do in that scenario?
So in that scenario, I mean, it's a great scenario, a very practical one that happens a lot, and it's a big security concerns for private people as well as in defense and homeland security. So when you have an intrusion, in normal cases, drone will not do anything, right? But in case of Urban Metrics drone, it will first of all detect that this is a human being, and it will lock that human being, and it will raise a flag to the UNT server where the controlling party or people sitting in the control rooms can be notified immediately that there is an intrusion. Once that is there, they can automatically zoom in to the concerned person, and they can record that video. They can take that data and take action based on the data. So the whole end-to-end solution, where you are not only detecting that person in real time, but also sending that information back to the control room in live, real-time manner, is something which we are really proud of, and it is possible only because of our integrated 4G drones.
And just to be clear, it won't only send the video. The analytics are happening in real time on the cloud, and the inference is being transferred to console to the organization. So there are, and we are developing ways to raise an alert so that organizations can take up action.
Isn't that useful? Talking about surveillance again, are you open for carrying out POCs for night security surveillance in some manufacturing complexes?
Can you please repeat the question?
Like in the manufacturing sector, in organizations, there are very huge areas of manufacturing complexes. Is Urban Metrics ready to carry out POCs, proof of concepts, for night security surveillance?
Yes, security in industrial campuses is a big and major challenge throughout India and throughout the world. So I think Ashutosh can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so surveillance per se, this drone is meant for defense as well as police and for private sectors as well. So surveilling perimeter is definitely possible along with the thermal camera.
Okay. One more here. Which cloud platform is being used by us?
I think Devanshu can answer this.
This is a kind of a vague question. Which cloud platform? Then, well, we do use there are multiple cloud providers in India. We do use few of them, but I don't think we can release it for various reasons.
Of course, we have our own secrets here. But yes, the information what we have provided to you, if they are not as per your requirement or expectation, please feel free to write in the chat box and we'll get back to you with more answers. What's your plan to transition to mass production?
Well, when we talk about mass manufacturing, the most cumbersome or most complex process is the assembly line. So while designing urban matrix drones, there are various design principles we follow. One of those biggest factors, biggest principles we took upon was ease of assembly, ease of manufacturing. So in design itself, we have reduced to minimum number of parts, minimum number of fasteners. So the whole drone can be assembled in a matter of 30 minutes. So that's a big number. We have designed and reduced the components such that it can be assembled fast. Other than that, the sourcing of components itself, it is it is very standard components we have used. Standard in the sense those are mass produced, and then we modify our designs, machine those to our requirements. So yeah, our designs are meant to be mass produced.
We have two more quick questions. Can drones in defense be equipped with stealth mode?
So stealth mode, I think by this question, what I can understand is it is not detectable by radars. So radar technology, I mean, it works, fairly well for larger aircraft and larger distances. But if you talk about drones, they are very small in terms of their physical self, and it is very difficult to use drones and detect these drones using radars at larger distances. But when we talk about smaller distances, radars can definitely target these drones. What we can do is we can make sure that the drones which we are building have anti-jamming capabilities for defense. So with anti-jamming capabilities, nobody can jam the drone. Nobody can jam the infrastructure which is built on the drone. And we are already doing some tests along these lines. And if there is a requirement like that, we are more than capable to tackle that.
And the second question in the same group, do these drones work in rain or other harsh conditions?
So drones are not meant to fly in rain because of its fundamental working principle. It works on the air. So if there's water, it won't be able to fly. However, if you want to bring it back when it starts drizzling or starts raining, it can come back. It is capable of coming back. And talking about harsh conditions, we have flown our drones in very stormy conditions. In 2020, there was Storm Amphan. So during that time, we were doing a POC from the clients, and the wind speed was up to around 80 to 90 meters per second. And our drone flew well, and it came back to the landing launching position as well. So yeah, it can fly in harsh conditions, and it can fly in rain as well, but it's not meant to fly.
Right. Another question here. Can we remove 100% physical security guards presence and manage only with drones, giving them live stream vehicle to response in maximum 2 to 3 minutes time? Well, the idea behind drones or the technology, if I'm to say, is not to remove the already existing jobs out there, but enhance these people with better technology and experience. So converting these security guards to someone who can use a drone, or pilot the drones, would be a better alternative when you compare it with some completely removing them from the job cycle.
We can definitely, that's a great answer, sure. And we can definitely reduce the number of security guards required.
And there will be less scope of human error, of course.
Yeah, I mean, the current security situation right now, look at first is, human being is going on a car or a jeep and, going around the perimeter. But the second aspect is CCTV cameras. So if you have a 1,000-acre campus, you want to provide security for that 1,000-acre campus, you have to install 1,000 CCTV cameras, which becomes very difficult job to maintain those 1,000 cameras, wiring for those cameras, and managing the data which is coming from 1,000 cameras. And there are still blind spots, and people will figure it out and leverage those blind spots to basically do anti-social activities or unwanted things. So drones can alternatively provide you complete aerial picture, and you can program these drones to be completely automated. As I mentioned earlier, whenever there is an intrusion detected, it will flag to the control room. So, it is a very neat and clean process to manage larger areas and securities in these larger compounds.
We have a very good question here. Since in the future, there is a possibility of a lot of drones in the sky, does Urban Matrix drones have anti-collision system? That's one. And secondly, are there any protocols that is accepted across the industry?
Right. I mean, right now we have worked with various kinds of anti-collision systems, and the current state of anti-collision systems in the whole drone industry globally is this: there is no cheaper alternatives for anti-collision systems. If you want to install a good anti-collision system, you have to spend a lot of money. So it is very difficult right now to integrate anti-collision systems in smaller drones. And the volume is fairly less today, so it is not needed. But you are absolutely right, in future, down the line, 2 years, 3 years, when the volumes of these drones will go up, deliveries will come in and kick in. We definitely need a good anti-collision systems. Companies like Honeywell are already working on these kind of systems for drones. And it will be great to see new innovations in these areas as well.
I would also like to add a bit more. So when we feel that the number of drones in the air are increasing, there is a growing need of an air traffic management system for drones. And that is why technologies like Console, technologies like cloud-connected drone systems are imperative. And that is why we feel that Urban Matrix is ready for this kind of technology.
Imagine a city like a Bangalore where there are, let's say, 10,000 drones flying above people's houses. And to manage all those 10,000 drones, you need a centralized management system which can track these drones. So the 4G drones which we have built are completely capable of doing that. The UMT console which we have built is completely capable of doing these things. So we can, scale up these technologies in order to cater these challenging problems.
And not only scale up, we want to spearhead.
Yeah. Fortunately, the government has been very supportive of this. They have launched the new regulations. There was something called NPA, Permission to Take Off Protocol. So that was meant to regulate the traffic in the air and assign time and slot for the flights. So we at Urban Matrix have built the technology so that it is compliant. We have this NPA protocols installed way before the new regulations were in place. So yeah, so that would again help in this anti-collision or better flight management systems.
What is the setup at Urban Matrix for providing post-sale services and maintenance?
Right. So we have been building drones since last 6 years, and we know that like any other machine, drones requires maintenance as well. So for the first year, we provide 1 year warranty where we provide training, maintenance, everything in a single package. And for the next 2 more years, you can buy separate packages for the maintenance. And maintenance is again, very straightforward. We can do a live maintenance where we go to the client's location. Our engineers go to the client's location and do a complete check. But we are going one step ahead in terms of software maintenance. Now, because of our own software infrastructure on drones, we are actually doing over-the-air updates for the software part of the drone. So if there's any problem in the software or the software is getting old, we need a new feature, software-based feature, we will do the update over the air. Just connect the drone to the 4G and that's it. The software will be updated like your Android mobile devices or your mobile devices in general.
Yeah. Adding to that, we also have this health monitoring system on console. So when our drone is connected to our servers all the time, it streams all the health aspects. There are various sensors like temperature sensor, there is noise levels. So if there is any issue, any alarming issue coming in the drone, that can be notified to us directly, and we can resolve or suggest a troubleshooting method for it. So that way we are providing maintenance for every flight.
Ashutosh, if you can add to that, how much of temperature can the drone withstand? Does it have the necessary capabilities to tackle a fire situation or being in an emergency situation like fire?
So structurally, it's made out of carbon fiber. So carbon fiber can withstand temperature up to 300 to 400 degrees Celsius. The structure is quite solid in that sense. Coming to the electronics parts, so drones are meant to take high temperature load. We haven't tested the full extent. And if you are talking about fire situation, it highly depends on how close we are to the fire. So far we have tested around 80 to 90 degrees. That much the temperature we can have the electronics heat up. So yeah, so that again depends on how much temperature we are exposing it.
Also, the drone has several cooling systems installed into it.
Yeah,
and we are trying to tackle these problems as much as possible.
Yeah, so you won't be able to go very close to the fire, but you can fly far from it.
So with that, we come to an end of our launch event. Any further questions? I encourage you all to send us an email, or we will send you a form which you can fill and send back to us, and we will answer them back to you. We thank each and every one of you for your patience, support, and above all, your belief in Urban Matrix. We assure you that we will continue on our path to build truly reliable Made in India drone technology. Take care.